American citizens are voluntarily leaving America. How do I know this? I'm a real estate transaction coordinator. I've been a real estate transaction coordinator for about 15 years. I've owned my own business. It'll be 9 years in September. In the 9 years that I've owned my own business, I have closed over 7,000 real estate transactions. And I have never seen what I am seeing right now. Currently, out of the 11 listings that I currently have under contract and managing, 5 of them, 5 families, are selling their homes to move abroad. 5 out of the 11, so almost half. And every single one of those 5 homes are under contract for over $1 million. So that's telling me that the wealthy are leaving. Back in the day when I was closing over 120 transactions per month, I would maybe have 1 seller per year selling their home to move abroad. But to have 5 all at once and above the $1 million price point, this is North Carolina and South Carolina markets, okay? This is not California. This is North Carolina, South Carolina, okay? It's like, I'm not an economist, but this is like a red flashing light warning. I have never seen this in 15 years that I've been in the real estate industry. So, yeah, just a little random factoid for you on this Wednesday morning.
For generations, the deal was simple. Work hard, buy a house, and build a life in America. But right now, we're seeing a shift that should be setting off alarm bells. Regular Americans are quietly packing up and leaving the country. They aren't taking extended vacations, they are tapping out of a system that has made basic survival, healthcare, housing, and food feel like a luxury. The cost of staying has simply become too high. As we're about to see, the decision to walk away isn't just about escaping debt. It's about finding a place where you don't have to work 3 jobs just to tread water.
So I've made a decision and I'm moving to Bali. I'm getting my kids up out of America because it sucks here. I can't stand it. I hate it. Ugh. I am ready to move. I've been doing so much research, been getting my paperwork together, talked to a realtor, trying to get my cash flow together, getting my things settled because it's happening. Like, I am over America. I'm over it. And I know I'm not the only one, but if I could just get at least like one of my family members or like one of my real friends to go with me, please, because I am still kind of scared. But why not?
And here we are. There's Mom. Say hi, Mom. This is Pam.
Hi.
Where are we going?
Albania.
Albania. Why are we going there?
Why?
Yeah.
For a better life.
That's a great answer. Okay, look at all this stuff. Okay. We are trying to sell right now, including, this is a little sad for me. My art supplies. School was a long time ago. I could buy new paint.
We are very, very seriously starting to consider leaving the United States, and I just want to hear from someone who's done it. Where did you go? How did you decide that's where you're going? How did you get a visa? Do all of that? I'm definitely like researching on my own, but like if there was someone I could connect with who's done this before, like I just would love to utilize you as a resource, and yeah, if we can help one another, please.
Well, I am doing it. I am leaving the US for good this time. It feels so weird actually, because before we were just using the vacation visa because we wanted to make sure it's somewhere we want to be. We got our actual 4-year visa and we're leaving. It was just time. We're being priced out. We're exhausted. This rat race is like, that's not how we want to go out. It feels so surreal right now because it's like official. Like we have the visas. Well, my husband does. I had to work on getting mine when we get back. But like, this is it. I am both extremely happy and very sad at the same time, because I'm gonna miss my family. But we just decided we're not gonna let anything stop us from living a life that makes us happy. And this life that we have chosen is what brings us joy.
The rat race that is living in the United States. This culture of workaholics, this culture of trauma bonding, this culture of stress and anxiety being the norm. Y'all, that's not supposed to be normal. Me and my husband did not realize how stressed out we were until we left the United States. We decided we wanted to live a slower life. We wanted to live a more peaceful life. We wanted to live a life where people actually had community. We wanted to live a life where people actually went outside and everybody wasn't just addicted to screens. And y'all, I'm telling you, our mental, physical, spiritual health has never been better. If you want to leave the United States in 2025, I promise it is possible for you, but you got to take action to make it happen.
Okay, when is your now's my time to get out moment? Like, now is the time to, like, now I'm gonna leave. When is your, like, this is the moment? Like, is it when they start arresting journalists? Like, when is it? Guys, like, for us, it was a year ago. It was a year ago. And it took us about 9 months, beginning to end, to get out of the country. So if you are thinking about possibly leaving, or if you have a way to possibly get out, or you want to start researching and looking into like ways to maybe leave, do it now. The best time was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Start now. Because look at what's been going on and all the crazy things that have happened. We moved in April, and I cannot believe the amount of insane things that have been happening in the last 3 months alone. Imagine where we're going to be 3 months from now.
I thought leaving the country was going to be like the biggest culture shock. Turns out the biggest culture shock was actually moving back to America, man. So we've been back, back in the States from Thailand. We lived in Thailand for 9 months straight. Completely 90 days since we've been back, like trying to get back to used to driving a car. But off rip, just the prices, man. Like the first day we touched back down, like we spent $300 immediately. And that doesn't sound like much because we're used to spending that here. But man, like in Thailand, that was my rent for the month. So I legit just dropped my rent payment.
I left America 6 months ago and my life is infinitely better. Let's talk about it. First things first, I've talked about this in other videos, but it cost me around $1,000 to leave the States, which is significantly less money than I ever anticipated. And I think it's a really important thing for everyone to be talking about, that it actually costs a lot less than you might think to leave the US. Since moving abroad, these are the things that have improved in my life. First and foremost, my physical health is infinitely better. Why? The food is better. The air quality is better. I'm happier. I'm less stressed out. Medicine and healthcare is way more affordable. Like, we're talking apples and oranges. People are nicer here because they are happier here. It is significantly easier to cultivate community in a place where people are trusting and loving and empathetic and kind. And I cannot stress this enough. My central nervous system is relaxed and calm for the first time in my life.
We know things are changing in the U.S. I acknowledge leaving is a privilege. Not everyone can do it. Many don't want to. Some want to stay and fight. Some want to stay because they have to or have other obligations. I get it. If you're staying, what is the plan? How do you plan to protect your income, protect your families, protect your food supply? What adjustments do you foresee you having to make? This is not to prove anything to anyone or to convince anyone of anything. This is strictly crowdsourcing because everyone does not have the privilege or the desire to leave. If you're staying, how are you going to do it? Someone else needs your idea. It's good to know that other people are working through and thinking through what's going to be required as things deteriorate. How will you adjust to these changes? Whether we leave or stay, we need a plan and we need each other.
I'm Rachel, and my husband and I are leaving behind a 6-figure income to move abroad unemployed in 44 days. But before that, we are leaving behind our home in Seattle where we've lived with our 2 dogs for 12 years, packing up our car, driving across the country to spend the entire month of August with our families in Massachusetts. And that's happening in 8 days, so things are getting real around here. I know a lot of you are going to want to know why, and the short version is we burned out hard chasing the version of success that we're all sold here in the US. And eventually, my husband and I kind of looked at each other and just said, what if we did this differently? And what if we kind of put our trust in the universe that things are going to work out? So we are packing up our life, our 2 dogs, and we are flying to Italy to try something a little bit slower, a little bit softer, something that feels more honest.
Well, this is officially my last evening and my last drive in the divided states of America before me and my family immigrate to Spain tomorrow. And I don't really know what I'm feeling. I actually feel like I'm just compartmentalizing everything right now.
Genuinely asking because I'm curious. I'm not one to fearmonger, but I am wondering how many of us are researching getting out of the US of A, and what are the things that need to happen in order for it to trigger that reaction? I fear that I will wait until it's too late and everybody's trying to do it at the same time, but I also don't want to live in fear, and I love my life in New York City, and I don't know another language because I had education in the United States and they don't value that. You get 2 years after you're 15 when we all know you're supposed to learn it younger, blah, 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 whatever. I guess I'm just afraid that I'm going to be caught in a situation from which I cannot extricate myself, and that I am not interested in. I also don't want to be trying to leave when millions of other people are trying to leave. So what's the plan?
Hi, my name is Chelsea, and we moved to the Netherlands from Michigan in 2 weeks from yesterday. So yeah, I haven't said anything on this app because I haven't really been on this app. We've been planning this for about 2 years now. We have 3 kids and a dog, and me and my husband, and we are moving to the Netherlands. And we both quit our corporate jobs of 14 years, and I'm going all in on my own business, which is kind of like content. I do videos and photos for myself as well as for other people and other companies. And yeah, I'm just going all in on myself. Kind of scary, kind of exciting.
I live in the Portuguese countryside. I just moved here from the US a few months ago, and I truly believe I am the luckiest person alive because I'm spending my Saturday morning with my neighbors picking potatoes from a field, and I couldn't be any happier. So peaceful. I learned so much here.
I moved to Portugal about 5 months ago, and I live on the countryside, and I live on a beautiful farm where there's continuous life, continuous growth. It's so vibrant. All kinds of veggies, all kinds of fruits, all kinds of animals, and there's so much life here. There's so much positivity. My dad would always talk about his time when he was a child growing up on the farm in San Miguel in the Açores. And, you're a kid listening to this, you hear the same story a million times, you kind of just shrug it off. Being the person I am now at this age, I appreciate that a lot more. I guess what I'm trying to say is this is a beautiful thing. What an opportunity. Good for stress, this is good for depression, this is fantastic.
Okay, I've been living in Costa Rica for almost 4 years now, and I would never in a million years want to live in a city in the States again. I see all you guys on TikTok, all these people in New York, LA, these major cities, and to me, that life was miserable. I was not happy. I was so stressed out. Didn't feel like I fit in. It was just it wasn't it for me. I had so much anxiety also. I was on medication for anxiety. That's how bad it was. I moved to Costa Rica. I am not an anxious person. Just turns out I wasn't meant to live in a city in the States. It's wild what moving to Costa Rica has done for my mental health, physical health, my social life. I have the best friends. I love my life so much. I'm so happy here. People ask me all the time when I'm gonna move back to the States, and the answer is never.
Anyone wanting to move out of America, it's all fine and good, but this is what living abroad looks like. A lot of the time, it's shitty and lonely and scary and exhausting. And there are a lot of people on here who will say, I just moved here and it's great. I know that is true. It's better than America, whatever it is, but there's also a lot of really shitty parts. My daughter was just here for 3 weeks. She left this morning to fly back to go to school. And I miss her already. And I don't have my good friends, my friends who know me here to support me in this moment. And it sucks. So I'm missing my family and my friends. And I've been here 18 months. It's not like I'm new. I don't know why I'm posting this. I hate when people post crying on the internet, but I just want people, I've had a large influx on my FYP of either Americans that are moving abroad, planning to move abroad, have already moved abroad, and there's a lot of us. And there's a lot of reasons to want to move abroad, and I get that America is not a safe place for a lot of people right now. But it's just, you need to know the reality of like how mentally hard it is to start over. It's exciting, but it's also some really shitty days. So,
well, we're looking at leaving. We're going to look at Canada and Portugal. Those are the two places we're looking. I can't even believe that I have to say this, but I am not going to sit and wait and hope that what we're seeing unfold doesn't actually happen. I'm not. I'm almost 60. What does that give me? Another 25, 30 years? I'm just keeping it real here. I don't want to live it like this. It's just not. No, I don't want to. And so do I want to leave my country? No. But my country kind of disappeared around 2015. And now it's unrecognizable to me. And so we're going to do a little research. We've got our Go stuff packed, all our documentation. We are going to check out Canada first, probably come back here, go check out Portugal, come back here, maybe Turkey. I'm not sure, it depends. Yeah, I mean, can you, it's like mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling.
We're 34 days until we move to Ireland. I swear it cannot come any sooner. Anyways, here's where we're at now. We've got movers coming in 2 days to pick up all the stuff that we're shipping. So we're really only taking like this section. And then we have this section that we need to sell.
A lot of people wanted to know why I chose Albania. It's because of the lack of barriers to enter the country. As American citizens, we can live here for 1 year on just our passport. You get off the airplane, you walk into the airport, you scan your passport, that's it. We can live here for 1 year, but after 1 year, you do have to leave the country for at least 90 days before you return. So for those of you all who are researching different countries to move to, you know that a lot of countries have, financial requirements, or you have to be a specific type of professional, etc. They don't have that here in Albania. So a lot of people consider it to be a really great starting off point for their journey abroad, because it is a low barrier to entry. You can come and live by the beach in a nice apartment and enjoy yourself and figure out what your next steps would be.
All right, I am moving to Mexico. There's all of my belongings. Well, not all of them, actually. It's only a part of it. Oh, my car is packed. And the cat will sit back here. And I got this fan for her. And I have a mesh barrier so that she can't come up front while I'm driving. My dog will sit up in the front with me. And then I just got the smallest U-Haul trailer. It's a 4 foot by 8 foot, but it is packed packed, completely full. There were stuff that I even had to leave behind because I just didn't have room for it. But it's about to start the 3-day drive, so we'll see how it goes.
As an American, there are some things that you can truly never fully understand until you leave the United States. I moved out of the United States 2.5 years ago, and since then, there have been moments where certain things happen that completely and utterly break everything that I've ever known. And today, one of those things happened. I'm currently living in Germany, and very recently I just got a part-time barista job. It's completely a part-time thing and just something for me to make some extra cash on the side. And I literally cannot even work more than 20 hours a week per my resident permit. And I haven't even started working yet, but there are some things about this job that have already broken me in a good way. As I'm in talks with the boss trying to get this job, I'm expecting like, okay, we'll do like an interview or something and they can see if they like me or not. And the boss emails me about like, they don't do like an interview, they do like a tryout day, and they're telling me like come in for the tryout day and see if you like it and if you fit in with the environment well. And when I went in for the tryout day and like all went really well and stuff, the boss asked me at the end, so like if you feel good about this job, like if you like it, if it suits you well and you think you might want to stay here, then just like write me an email and let me know by like Tuesday or whatever. And they're not saying anything about like whether they even like me or not. Like all the focus seems to be on whether like I like the job and I want to stay there. Like I ended up having to ask like, well, do you like me? Like my German isn't so good. So like, is it okay or is it like a problem? Like, how do you feel like I fit in with the environment? And only then did I hear from the boss like that, yeah, they liked me too. And then as we're going through the hiring process, like the first thing that they tell me is like, okay, the paperwork should be ready to sign in like 2 weeks. First things first, I need a little bit of information from you. And the first thing she asked me was, when do you want to take your vacation days this year? Literally the first thing that they asked me. Guess how many vacation days I get for a part-time 20-hour-a-week barista job? I am allotted 36 vacation days, or 6 weeks in a 6-day work week schedule. 6 weeks. But the thing that broke me today was an email from my boss telling me that not only is it possible for me to go on the public healthcare system, but it's literally required for me to. For context, this has never been possible for me before, and since I turned 25 and moved outside of the United States, I've only been able to have essentially travel insurance. And now through the German public healthcare system, I can pay into it and then see pretty much any doctor that I want to, as long as they have an available appointment for free or pretty much free. And the amount that you pay into it is like 100 euros a month. I haven't been to a dentist in like 10 years, and I know that partially that's definitely my fault, but I literally through like the public health insurance, it's like required for you to go like twice a year. I was like kind of freaking out when I first got the email, and I was like texting my German friends so that they could like help me understand better, and because like I translated it, but I was like, I don't want this to be like a false translation or something and me get my hopes up for no reason. And they were like, congratulations, like, but I was like really overwhelmed by it, and they were like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, yeah, of course, anyone in Germany who makes more than like 600 euros a month, they automatically can go on the public health insurance. And they're asking me like, what, you didn't know that? And I'm like, no, I didn't know that. Of course I could have like researched that, but like the thing is when you're socialized like as an American, like why would I have even expected that or thought to research something like that? We don't even have a public healthcare system like this. And a 20-hour-a-week barista gig would never give you social safety nets from it. Like, why would I have expected that? People who are not American will never understand that American systemically is so harsh, but like the thing is when you're socialized like as an American, like, why would I have even expected that or thought to research something like that? We don't even have a public healthcare system like this. And a 20-hour-a-week barista gig would never give you social safety nets from it. Like, why would I have expected that? People who are not American will never understand that Americans systemically is so harsh and unforgiving and just cruel that it socializes you. If you're poor, if you're not wealthy, then it socializes you into having just an overall pessimistic mindset or having expectations that everything will be so difficult and or impossible that you should set your standards super, super, super low, like in hell, so that you can be easier to exploit. Why would I have ever thought to look something like that up? I'm used to a part-time job giving you nothing. I'm used to public healthcare not even really existing. I'm used to literally everyone I love around me being like constantly in this state of like nervous system dysregulation because they're constantly in fear that if they have 2-3 bad months, then they're literally on the street. I'm used to seeing women in abusive situations not be able to leave their husband because they will lose their healthcare or it will be too financially crippling for them and they are terrified of being homeless. I'm used to people working 2 to 3 jobs and still being so scared of not being able to make ends meet for their family. I'm used to things being impossibly expensive. I'm used to things being intentionally made to be as difficult as possible to deter people from obtaining them. I'm used to things being unforgiving and uncaring and unhuman. Like, I can't believe how easy it was for me to obtain the essential care that every human being needs and deserves just by serving a little bit of coffee. Like, of course you can read and research about other countries like as much as possible, but there's some things that you don't fully understand until you leave the United States. I'm so angry and full of grief that our government and our society and media and whoever else has convinced us that the way that we live is normal.
What you just saw isn't a handful of isolated cases. It's a symptom of a deeply broken social contract. When people are moving to Costa Rica or Germany just so they can afford a trip to the dentist, or when they're abandoning the suburbs because the local housing market has been swallowed up by institutional investors, something has gone fundamentally off the rails. The corporatization of everyday life, from our healthcare system to our real estate, has drained the middle class. We are watching a quiet labor drain, not because people don't love their country, but because their country has priced them out of existence. It is a tragedy when the American dream is increasingly something you have to leave America to find. If you had to pack up and leave tomorrow because the cost of living just became too much, where would you go and what's the final breaking point that would make you do it? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.